how patient the people you're playing with are. Like finding a pug, no. Like you fuck up a couple times, it'll get kicked. But if you play with a group of friends or a group of people that you somewhat know or one of your friends know that are a little more patient, end up being okay. But
yeah, like when
obviously,
Ranat, our other brother, got me to come do heroic raids, and the fucking guild leader was screaming at everybody for making one simple mistake. It was like, this isn't my vibe.
Was that Mav?
That was
yeah.
Mav, yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like you you do one mechanic incorrectly, it wouldn't even wipe the raid, and he'd start screaming on comms.
I saw a guy when I was getting DM buffs the other day named Maverick. I said, "Are you the guy from Nostalgic Room?" He goes, "No." I was like, "Good, I hate that guy."
Nah, he was on the PvE server. When I was questing at the beginning of the anniversary servers, he saw me and was messaging me. I don't know.
Yeah, I initially started on the PvE. Then y'all came here.
Yeah, she just pissed me off, but she
my
can't
favorite
do
part
anything
about
because there's no
fucking
proof.
AV is
Her
whenever
lawyer's
you
just a
have
dumb
3
bitch.
people trying to solo
it's
a
just
fucking
the whole
lieutenant
thing
and they
about
die, and then
Mother
lieutenant
experience
resets and
extreme
nobody picks
domestic
them up.
violence.
The only
Like,
annoying part
have you hit the bitch?
in AV, dude, is
I never hit her.
people
I
don't
spit in her
pull
face
DoorDash.
after she hit me.
Stupid hunters.
I mean, if you didn't hit her,
I
that's
pull
an extreme
DoorDash every
domestic
You guys
time.
just
violence.
like
Mages
start.
and locks can pull
Mages.
DoorDash
I feel like I
easily,
just
too.
started hearing you in the middle of a conversation.
And Druids and
Or-
Hurricanes.
And Druids, yeah.
No, I was just waiting until y'all were done talking.
I'll
I didn't
go
know that.
quick.
Did you guys see it on the
Mike just
DVM
Mike,
thing?
Mike sounded like you were talking for your last 20 minutes.
So you can get Spirit of Zandalar if the other faction drops the heart.
Oh,
It says for
fucking
both factions. I didn't know that.
Yeah, as long as you're Booty Bear.
No, we
Yeah, that's
me
why.
and my
That's why
lawyer
it drops
we
it.
submitted
Like,
documents
drops like
claiming
every 3
Beth can make
minutes.
$72,000 a year
I
as
didn't
a
realize you got it if the other faction dropped the heart.
2-year nursing degree student.
That's they're a neutral
in
faction.
the state of Michigan in like Wayne
That
County.
makes sense, yeah.
And
everybody, I want to call it a night. You guys later.
See you later, man.
Night.
I'm halfway through friended already.
So it turns out a human can go from 0 neutral to
yeah, that's
friendly in
my
1
job,
run
Rich.
without even clearing all the
Yep.
trash. Easy.
I mean, she got a job, and so she can technically make, based on her
What did I make it
lawyers.
to?
So I make 59K. We claim she makes 72. Then we're like, okay, well, she owes us $150 a month in child
Yeah, I'm
support.
just shy of 3,000.
But she claimed with her calculator that like she only makes 33,000, and that's with her new job, and she's only working 12 to 18 hours a day because she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. Swear to God, that's in there. And then that she put my salary at like 72 because she also included $10,000 extra dollars from like this year's
I have full pre-bis gear on that.
like 1099B when I sold a bunch of my crypto to pay her. It's like no. I told Dan, I was like, no, legally, like that's not a normal salary. Like that's just what it is. So we excluded that, but we had to include that in like the documents submitted to them. For some reason, they're making me seem like I have more money than I do.
Oh, he beat you. I thought you beat him to 60.
Yep, we go to court Thursday in front of the judge to figure out who owes what child support. So
I mean,
Beth can go fuck herself.
Unfortunately, Rich has fucking kids.
That's the other thing is like we also found out when she submitted her taxes the year we were separated, 2023, like even though I always put my Neb Tesco check into our joint account which she owned for a whole fucking year when she was fucking other men and sleeping around, and I was like married to her still.
We didn't do that.
She was living in Airbnbs with our kids.
I think Karen said he was.
She claimed head of household and claimed 2 kids, but you can't fucking claim head of household.
Yeah, it fucked up and didn't log it. Very sad.
That's okay.
Are you talking to them?
Oh yeah,
That was a bad run.
I don't even like. I don't
we had a lot of deaths.
I thought you guys were out the group.
I don't even care.
Oh, I left the group, but he's still chilling in there.
On boss fights, there's like it's just boring.
So yeah, that's pretty.
I got one
good.
of them. One.
Yeah, someone got Gaz because I got a 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I got.
There's not really much damage for you to heal in there, is there?
Not really. I mean, unless we do what we accidentally did and pulled, half the instance, but no. I mean, most of the boss fights. Not. I mean, we had. How many healers we have? 5 or 6. 5, I think. So it's not a lot. I mean, there's just not a lot of damage, and the bosses die incredibly fast anyway.
Yeah, except for a car.
If we had world buffs and the car would have fallen over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had, I want to
Yeah, I
see
just paid
the
my lawyer
fucking
like
Panther die before we
$2,800
disappear
for my
so
fucking
bad.
Bitcoin last week.
I
don't-
think a bunch of people didn't pop
I'm probably gonna
CDs
owe
in that
another
fight
$3
for whatever
grand,
reason,
which
so-
will drop me under
I
20% of the
didn't, 'cause
Bitcoin, which
I
pisses me
was
off.
like, oh,
But
we're not gonna push
Hey.
it all
Dude, I
the
just, like,
afterwards.
yeah,
and
I-
got down to like 10%. I'm like, ooh,
I
mean,
just can't like wrap my head around like
Dude, I
I,
was-
I thought the
I think
stuff
that's
was
why
like I
most
thought
people-
you had it
I think that's why
basically
most
settled
people go
almost.
left.
It
Most groups
was,
go left
Mike.
and do Jindo first.
It
Warriors
100%
How was
first,
she-
Panther, and then it'll
how
be
was
back-
she
be
still
backed up
able
by
to,
a
like,
car.
that makes sense.
can bring shit up and
All
fight
my
if it's
group,
settled.
At least, I mean,
So-
So what?
I guess not this last one, but yeah,
because
almost all my
she
groups I do always go Jindo
inadvertently,
first.
I think she did it on purpose, but I also don't give her
But I guess I
credit
never
to be
thought
this
about
fucking
why, but that's
smart.
probably a good reason why.
But
for
what happened
cooldowns.
was the courts auto flagged our divorce judgment because Beth's on welfare
All these
assistance,
hearts, but I need
and
to
she
own
claimed head of
Aaron's head.
household when she shouldn't have from 2023 and 2024's taxes. So the state knows that.
I
So
think we
that's
should
the
kill
data the
Jin.
state
I think we
has.
should kill Jindu,
And,
Bloodlord, go
and
straight to
divorce
the car.
judgments in the state of Michigan get flagged
I
for
wish
auto
they
review
had,
for child
I wish they had
support
that
if
thingy
Oh,
they
yeah,
had
yeah.
in like Season of Mass
someone
Season
is on
Discovery.
welfare,
If you killed,
gets
if you killed the car
divorced,
before all the other
and
bosses
is not
like,
receiving
busted
child
and
support.
shit, had a-
So then
had
the
a job
fucking
to
courts
tag
don't
them
know
out.
shit about what
Yeah,
we're
that
going
should be
through.
the shit.
You know, so they're like, "Oh, we automatically
That would be a good
reviewed your child
change.
support.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You owe her
I don't think we
$1,000 more."
saw
Oh, go
an
fuck
announcement
yourself!
on that.
I
Anyway,
objected to
No, we
that.
didn't.
So then we had to set
I
a
just
court
really
date,
want-
and then Beth
I want to kill.
countered that
I wanna do the-
objection with
the
a
five
fucking
priests fucking Hakar,
letter to the
once in
court saying we
classic,
need to
like,
open
actual
child
classic.
support back up, which she's legally allowed to do. You're never
SOD was
allowed
kind of a
to
joke.
close child
You lose
support
your chance to
potential
get the
in the state of
mountain
Michigan.
version of the game if you
Pretty
do
much
that, though,
anywhere
right?
in the states.
No,
It's fucking
Um,
because the
It's
mount
just
comes
So
part
from
she used it
the mount comes from Broodlord and
manipulatively, I think,
But
to
Tiger's one of the priests.
get
though,
whatever
so
she
you don't
could
kill
out of
him.
our divorce
you can
agreement,
still kill the priest after.
and then open
Oh,
up
okay, I
child
wasn't sure
support
about that.
because she blew through my
Yeah, you
15K
just
that
kill-
year.
Zom-
So I'm fucking
in
pissed.
Zom,
She
if you
still
kill
has her
the car with all
$35,000
five
in her
priests, then
fucking
you got to loot
retirement,
for all five
and mommy and
priests,
daddy are paying
as
for the
well
fucking
as the
lawyer.
car
Now
shit,
I'm paying
plus,
for
like,
my
bonus
lawyer,
loot.
and she's draining me
That
on
was
my
a really
Bitcoin,
cool change.
and
So
I'm
you could
fucking
literally just
living it.
kill Jindo and
So she can
Bloodlord and
suck
just
my
go kill the
fucking
car,
dick.
and you would
Like,
get
I hope she
like
gets ran over
30
by a fucking car. Like, now she's
I
fucking.
mean,
And I hope her
once you
dad
blow
dies
his
of a fucking
hearts
heart attack and goes
and
to hell.
whatnot, like,
Because he ain't seeing
just really
Jesus at the
trying
end
to
of his
go
life. I'll
to-
tell you
go to
fucking
Jindo,
that,
go
dude.
to
You don't
Tiger,
pretend.
go
You don't
to
pretend to be a
Bloodlord,
Christian and then
Bloodlord
fucking
Day.
sit here
Go to
and say I'm
Panther
an
for the
abuser.
bag.
You can go fuck yourself. I know
Yeah,
you had like
drops the
an
bag.
alcoholic father as a kid, but go fuck yourself.
For
I
that
can't
free
afford bottomless
18
So
bags.
star.
sorry you
I
had to
kill
listen to that
Panther.
rant, but that's
no, bro,
why
I,
it got brought
I
up,
get it, bro. I
and
get
now
it.
I'm having to
Hair
deal with
holders,
the
dude, just
repercussions of
use
that
not
bullshit.
Break in.
I live 2,000
So
miles away.
yeah, I'm
Just
fucking
don't tell them when you
pissed.
come back.
But
Quick
I mean, she's gonna get
visit,
fucked, dude.
quick
Like
plane
eventually,
trip.
Beth's probably gonna lose these kids.
Fly back,
Like,
steal his wow.
I am there for them all the fucking time. She's lying to the courts.
Wait, what? Hold on, wait.
See,
only
you
half
didn't even know.
listening.
Nothing.
No,
Well, I hope she loses the kids.
Breaking in for butt sex?
All right, I'm gonna go do dinner. See you guys later.
All right,
Later,
I'm gonna go
Fanny.
be a HoJ whore. See you guys.
Laters.
Out of there.
Yeah, so essentially we have to come up with our own briefs of why each of us should or don't impute income for child support. So we're pretty much saying, like, Beth has the ability. It doesn't matter how much you make. It doesn't. Unless you're already making money. And then there's laws about, like, if Beth's purposely being underemployed, which she is, because we have the same fucking schedule. You can't just work 18 hours a day because you want to be a stay-at-home mom. Go fuck yourself. Like, the courts don't respect that. They don't. That's not how the court system works. But that's what she's trying to claim. Not only that, but she fucked up the taxes and stuff like that. So she filed head of household, which I don't know if you know what head of household is, but
Yeah, I know what it is.
so yeah, when you file for head of household, you have to, one, be the main provider for a majority of the expenses of the house, of your children. You have to have majority nights of your children.
Yeah, I think for me, I can't do head of household because we're filing jointly.
Right, exactly.
So, which I think I
And
might
Beth didn't want to
file.
file jointly with me.
Well, I think I do head of household now. Rachel doesn't make anything, and I just claim her as a dependent.
Yes, and that's what you should do if
think
that's
that's
your
what Taylor
situation where
did.
she doesn't make any money, right? But if you're
Yeah.
married filing jointly and she's making something, you should just marry filing jointly because of the deductions. But Beth filed had a household for 2023 when she was living not with me. So she's claiming that she was providing the kids majority. She had the kids majority of the time, which she's so fucking stupid because that's not. I had them 4 days a week. You know what I mean? So you can't even do that. Like I had them 4 days a week. If anything, I was the only one legally able by the IRS to file head of household, but I didn't because we were legally married. So I filed married. Trust me, my sister's halfway to CPA. Kayla walked me through the legal, everything. So like I filed married, filed separate because Beth refused to file joint and save money because she's a dumb bitch that hates me. So like just to spite me, she doesn't want us saving money and making more money back on our taxes and filing married. This is literally why she did that last year for the previous year's taxes. Like she's such a fucking cunt. Like she's a dumb bitch that literally didn't file just to spite me. And she could have saved both of us money. She didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want to file married jointly because we're not married. So you dumb bitch, we're still legally married. Stop saying you're not married. You're just using it as an excuse to go fuck whoever you want. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I filed jointly, and I said, fuck you. I'm not giving you the 2 kids. So I claimed all 4 kids in 2023. I'm allowed to because I had the majority nights. I paid for the majority of their, I paid for the majority of everything. I had legal ability to prove that Beth was under my income, even if it was under our joint account, and Beth was not at the house for over 6 months. So I was able to get my tax returns back for all 4 kids. Beth got tax returns back for 2 of the kids because she had a household for 2 of the kids, which doesn't make any fucking sense anyways. And then she's getting letters in the mail from the IRS saying she owes money. She's like, we promised to do 2 and 2. I was like, I didn't say shit. I verbally agreed. It wasn't in writing. And I changed my mind and emailed you and said, no, I'm taking all 4. You can't write that down. Not only that, you fucking filed incorrectly because you're a dumb bitch. So she's going to get fucked and has to owe that money. And the fact that she filed head of household triggered. She kept consistent with the state of Michigan's welfare, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. She stayed consistent with claiming she was head of household there too, because she claimed she had the kid 7 days a week and she was getting $1,200 in fucking EBT. And my lawyer knows that, but he won't do anything about it because he's like, well, unless you got proof, we can't fucking claim that. I'm like, that pisses me off. So I've had to deal with all that bullshit. I mean, that's why I'm saying she's going to get fucked because this judge is going to look at the facts and be like, well, why did you file this way? That'll be like an aside. Really, it's like, why won't you go to work? Like, she wants all of the benefits of being in a marriage and none of the responsibilities of being single.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. She's living in fucking La La Land. So Thursday we go to court and it's going to be like an hour-long thing on fucking Zoom. And I'm going to find out what the fuck the court system actually has justice or not. Like, so Thursday is the child support case. And then next Monday, on the 12th, is our support case for literally it says defendant wants to be able to have phone calls with kids during parenting time and change pediatrician. So we already in our divorce agreement agreed that our pediatrician stays the fucking same. It's in Ann Arbor where it's always been, or it's in Ipsy. Well, Beth lives in Taylor now, and she's bitching, and she wanted to change it. So she put a court order in to fucking change it and said, and part of her claim was, I chose a pediatrician. She wants to choose her own pediatrician. I'm like, are you insane? Then our divorce judgment, we both agreed to go to that pediatrician, you dumb bitch. The court's not just going to change the divorce judgment because you want to. We agreed legally about this shit. And she only lives 10 minutes further from me. So it takes me 20 minutes to get to Ipsy's pediatrician office. It takes her 29 minutes. So she's taking me to court over 10-minute difference. Well, so my lawyer said, this is kind of frivolous. So I told him, I want you to fucking say to her lawyer, and he did, that we're going to ask the judge to anything to do with that case for the lawyer's time spent, the money that I have to pay the lawyer, she has to pay my lawyer fees because she's being a bitch. So we're going to wait to see if they impugn the lawyer fees to her for being a fucking cunt. And she wants to talk to the kids on my weekends with the kids. And like, I used to let her do that because I had the kids 4 days a week because I had them Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And we were married. I was respecting our marriage. As soon as we got divorced, I was like, and plus the kids never wanted to. Sometimes some Richie or David, they didn't want to talk to her, and I made them talk to her because I respected our marriage. I was like, nope, this is your mom. You need to talk to mom right now. But we're not married anymore. Beth calls whenever the fuck she wants, tries to at least, and the kids don't want to talk to her. So I said, fuck it. So I texted her and said, hey, look, I'm not okay with you just calling whenever you want. Let's just stick to the time we have with the kids, because now I don't have the kids 4 nights a week. I have them 3 days a week. We have the exact same schedule. So, and not only that, but you put me on don't disturb and never pick up my phone calls. So I stopped calling. So
Yep,
now I don't
right.
call you when you have the kids, and I'm not expected to pick up your phone calls. So go fuck yourself. I mean, I didn't say that part, but I said it legally, emotionally neutral in a text message. So then she threatened that she'll take me to court. I was like, okay, go right ahead. I mean, I know that I'm right. So, and she took me to court. So everyone I've talked to says, yeah, that's insane. They're going to side with you because the courts like, what's it called? Uninterrupted parenting time. And they're not going more than 3 days without seeing her. So she's fucking insane. That's what's going on. She's dragging me through the courts, taking my money, being a bitch, being lazy. I never even talked about her like this before, but I'm just done. I'm just fucking done. Like, I've set boundaries and she's trying to drag me through the mud because I set healthy boundaries. Like, it's fucking insane. I mean, that just goes to show you, like, she doesn't respect me at all. So, like, and she don't care because it's not her money she's wasting. It's mommy and daddy's money. So that's why I'm like, oh, they can just go die whenever they want. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, because they're just ignorant fucking old Christians that think I'm an abuser. That's literally what they think. They literally think I've abused her. So it's fucking insane.
I mean, if you want, we could probably set something up.
Bro, Rob, man.
Oh, I'm sure Rob, every
Rob is
every
so
chance he gets.
buttered, bro. I've had to tell Rob to stop texting me because, like, if he ever does something, I might get in trouble because he's stutter.
That's funny.
So anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. That's the bullshit. And I told my parents, my mom's like, I'm so sorry, son. You're gonna have to deal with this for 18 years. I was like, Mom, no. I'm dealing with this now because this shit is over. I'm done. I don't give a fuck. I'm drawing boundaries and I'm setting fucking precedents. And this shit, like, there ain't gonna be nothing else you can bitch about. You're gonna go to work, bitch. The court's gonna tell you to go to work. Like, what are you gonna get? $100 from me a month? Go fuck yourself. That's $3K a year. That's what, $35,000? I'll fine.
But don't you have the kids majority of the time?
No, I mean, we have 50-50, but she still gives me the kids because she can't fucking handle them. And I write all that shit down and I gave it to the court. And because in that screenshot, after that screenshot, she was claiming that she watches the kids when they're sick, even when it's not her days. And I was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. That's not true at all. Here's the documents to prove it. Like, and I shared my fucking my chart history where it says dad took David in. And I fucking shared my work history where, like, here's my days off because I took my kids in sick. So go fuck yourself. Like, how dumb are you, bro? Like, she's so fucking stupid. Like, I have evidence. Like, she has nothing but hearsay. Like, that's how it
What
works.
up, bitches?
What up? So yeah, long story short, that's how it
What up,
happens.
boys?
What up?
Just reading.
Well, fucking everyone's here today.
I gotta leave for work in like 4 hours. I'm just gonna AV until then.
You almost done?
I just started.
I mean, like,
I need
with your rank 14, like, how close are you?
yeah. Assuming I make it this week, I'll be done. This is the last week. But I just started. I still need 400,000.
Yeah, I figured it was.
How much do I need right now? 400,000. I haven't done. I've done like 2 AVs so far this week.
I need 332 more.
Yeah, Ben, I was so upset that you didn't fucking do the fucking log.
You were upset. I was pissed. Fucking shut up. You need log 2, Mike. We've been through this.
I know, but I'm blaming you. You always do it.
I care so little about that stuff that I actually whispered escape and offered to leave the raid mid-raid to go get the
You didn't
lure.
tell me? I could have came in.
No, it was to go get the lure.
I know you don't care.
I whispered him and told him. I whispered him and told him I'll leave right now and go buy the lure. Like, I don't care about loot or parsing or anything, and he's like, "Nah, we'll have Turk go do it on a second account." I actually didn't know the lures could be traded. I thought they were soulbound. That's good to know. Which that means I can just Hearth to Theramore on my Mage, go buy it, and mail it to myself. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that that's not going to be the only time I'm going to be the only 300 fisher in a raid.
Yeah, actually gotta get my fishing up.
Every time Rich doesn't show up, I'll probably be the only one.
Well, that's the last time I'm not showing up. Promise.
But yeah, Ben, fucking, because I ran it through my sim to figure out if I should use, because they got 4 pieces of tier 2, and I'm trying to figure out which would be like, is it worth using that with for the tier 1? And so I ran it through my sim, and it comes out higher DPS for if I wear all of tier 1 until I get full tier 2, and I get that multi-shot buff. And fucking every time I multi-shot it, I was like, "What rocket to the top of the fucking charts?" And I'm liking this. Then we had a couple times where I did it just out of like fucking me and TJ. I'm like, watch this, TJ, watch this. I'll fucking multi-shot, and he fucking run in and
run in and sapper and take his dopamine away. Oh, and
then we had that one where
we weren't logging.
Somebody was sapper.
Huh?
I feel like if you really want to do huge numbers on trash, why don't you just Arcane Power and Arcane Explosion? That's way better than Sappering.
Well, first of all, I've only done this raid twice, so like I want to make sure that I have Arcane Power on ready for bosses, because I didn't know exactly when.
Yeah, but it's only a 3-minute cooldown though.
But Sappering and then Arcane Explosioning is what I do. Well, Kona Cold and then Arcane Explosion, and then I keep my Nova in case I pull aggro.
like we did that time.
I was just throwing my Nova out there to like, oh yeah, here, I'll hold him, and then like I almost got killed once, and I'm like, no, this is my I pulled aggro button from now on.
Yeah, it was actually fun though. It was a good little run. Yeah, it was pretty buggy though. Fucking, I had my trinket I couldn't equip.
Yeah, I was reading that I was reading a bunch of comments that the Edge of Madness boss has been bugged for like a year and a half, and it's possible you'll do the summon thing and it'll consume your mats and the boss will just not spawn and you can't do it that reset.
Damn.
So I'm afraid of that happening because I actually need that trinket.
Dude, I'm so sad I lost the fucking idol roll. Fucking tied him, and then fucking dude, Strong Mage fucking just took everything and just like.
And then he's like, and then kill the last one. I'm out. Burger time.
Dude.
Yeah, but the good thing is you can literally run 3 ZGs a week sometimes.
Yeah,
I know.
It's such a short lockout.
Getting that tiger eventually.
That's interesting how he's doing it. So he's rotating it by classes for each week.
Yeah.
No.
Or for each raid. Yeah, because he said hunters roll in this idol and then mages.
They're just doing. I thought they were just doing hunter mages first because.
Do they have that good of an enchant?
Pretty sure their enchants are just.
I'm pretty sure that's what they were. Yeah,
because the mage enchant has spell hit on it, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then the hunters has what hit crit. Actually have it up.
Yeah, dude. Imagine if the rogue enchant had hit, it would actually be good.
Yeah, the hunter has range attack power, damn, and hit. So if I get both of those, then
the rogue enchant's 28 attack power, which is really nice. But then the other thing is 1% dodge. Gross.
So So are we doing one? So for like say the hunters and mages, are we getting both a chance, or just get one, then they're passing it to someone else?
I don't know.
I mean, depends. I would assume.
Okay. Because I know Shady got one. I think he got one. Then who got the other one today?
It's one of
Well,
those
they
things
were
where you
saying
probably
he was like, you get 2 and that's it, no more. So I don't know if
yeah. So
you
you,
get
you
2 in a row.
shouldn't put those enchants on your tier 1 gear. You should put them on your tier
I'm
2
putting him
gear.
on tier 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on this item.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably. I got the fucking.
Which I don't
My
have
God,
that
is
for
this
the
game-
helm, but I could put it on Bloodvine pants.
Oh fucking! I got the veracity for. I probably just throw on tier 1.
I mean, I think aren't Bloodvine pants this for you though.
Mm-hmm. The whole set is.
I don't
well,
think you even
I have
for PVE. Do you even wear tier 2, or is offset everything this?
for.
For net, do you even wear any of your Netherwind shit?
Well, here's the thing. I really started looking up, like, trying to figure out what the actual BIS is. You know, look at 3 different lists, fucking get 3 different things. You know, from fucking like Wowhead and fucking Icy Vein. So it's like, I'm in the process of doing what I did last time and putting it all in the spreadsheet and gonna sim it and figure it out. But I think maybe, like, I'm pretty sure a couple of the lists had the Netherwind gloves as BIS, but the gloves there's a pair of gloves that drop in ZG that have 1% hit and like, I forget how much spell power. And like I was doing the rough math and I'm like, I think these are like slightly
So
better. Like they're really close. Like
I'm so hit pilled. I value hit over like every other stat.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how it is for other classes, but for mages, it's you basically convert everything to spell power, so you know the value of everything, and then they get the
I just don't like
conversion
RNG.
changes. Yeah, well, I mean, I've just had to live with it until like fucking 2 days ago.
Wow, we won as
Yeah,
AV.
actually-
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I was also looking at a bed with the. With a hunter. As soon as I get both the enchants for the head and legs, I don't need. I could basically go without the Band of Furia and the dragon, and could actually get the rings that don't have hit. That stack more agility and attack power.
Oh,
Yeah, but there's no purpose for you to go past like 9% hit.
that's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
but that's
Yeah.
why as soon as I get the enchant for the head and legs, I could get the Seal of
Get more
Jin.
damage gear. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could get what's the other one?
Ben, did you see that
I mean,
thing I
there's
posted about Rag?
The band.
maybe like yesterday or
bandage.
something?
Akuria has a lot of agi on it though, so that's got to still be pretty good for you. No, I didn't.
But yeah, but the Sealogen and the Bandagen has crit attack power, then 14 agility, and gives 1% hit.
Rag has
So
a
I think-
thing where if you don't have any hit gear, you still are hit capped against them.
Really? Why? I miss on Rag all the time.
It's well, I went and looked at every single. I paid for the thing on Warcraft logs where you can analyze like multiple, like, reports. So like I literally took every single MC boss, and looked at it at my miss percentage, and it was like 10 or 11%. Then I looked at every single Rag fight that I've ever done, and I had like a 1.5% miss. And because I was looking back at my notes, like, you know, I forgot where I found them, and it was like, take off all your hit gear and just wear like all your spell power gear, because Rag fucking he's got like a it's like, I forget what it is, like a negative resistance or something to frost or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you do extra damage with frost. It's like 10% extra damage or something.
Well, the resistance doesn't affect the damage. Well, for Frostbolt, it's a binary spell, so it either hits or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So
So partial. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
But
so,
I don't know
so
how
resist
it works.
doesn't affect
I
the
remember
damage; it just affects the hit percentage.
right, but I remember reading a long time ago that frost spells legitimately just do extra damage against Rag. He has like a hidden debuff to frost.
I don't know if they do extra damage, but it definitely does. It eliminates the hit, your hit capped. So as I get hit gear,
Oh, so just So
I'm
just
gonna-
for you then, I'm saying.
Well,
All right,
for
boys.
any frost
Catch you guys tomorrow.
mage.
Yeah, so just for you. I was gonna say I miss
Yeah,
Unrag
yeah.
all the time. I definitely
Oh
still
yeah,
have to wear
yeah,
hit
yeah,
gear.
yeah, yeah. It's a frost thing. But so yeah, like as I start building up like hit on my gear, I want to have a separate rag set that doesn't have, you know, just completely prioritizes spell power and with no hit. I thought it was interesting. I read it and I was like, you know what? I can test this, and fucking went and looked at it, and some bitch. I was like, I fucking got like a 1.5% miss on rag. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of comments from people saying that mages in identical gear and buffs will hit Rag harder than any other boss. So it's always just been assumed that he takes bonus damage from Frost.
Well, let me look at. Where's my screenshot? Did it have my average hit in there?
It kind of makes you, if it's true, it kind of makes you feel even worse that you still can't out DPS warriors on that fucking fight. Warriors are so overpowered.
And there's so many of them too.
No, nobody rushed fucking RH with me. What is this bullshit?
So, let me see.
No, nobody rushed fast enough, little bitches.
For every fight I've ever done against Rag that I've logged, my average hit for my Frostbolt was 1.5k. And for every boss I've ever killed total, including Rag, in MC, my Frostbolt is 1.5k average hit. So it does not increase. You don't hit him harder. You just miss him less. Because my miss percentage on my Frostbolt is 8.89% on every boss in MC. And then let me jump to this actually.
Check other bosses without including Rag in the thing.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at people's stats talking about how, like, this guy's showing how he's averaging
Rag's not
his
gonna skew
Frostbolts
it
on
that
Rag.
much.
This guy's posting videos and logs of him hitting Rag for 1500 and critting for 3k, but on Cthulhu he's hitting in the same gear and the same buffs and the same consumes. He's only hitting Cthulhu for 1150 and critting for 2300.
I mean, I'm looking
which
at
makes very little sense unless Rag has a secret frost resistance or
I mean, he has a
weakness.
fire elemental.
I mean, that's like
Yeah.
1-to-1, like one situation. Like maybe that Curse of Elements wasn't on. Maybe that.
Plus, there are really old blue posts from 2006 Blizzard employees saying that they did design bosses with thematic weaknesses.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it from thousands of cast bolt or fucking the thousands of fucking Frostbolts that I've casted. the average hit is the same. The miss percent is drastically different.
So it's impossible to say. Blizzard's weirdly secretive about some stuff, or they were, and the people that wouldn't know the actual answers to these questions are dead.
Well, resistance doesn't increase damage. Like, it's only a hit roll. Like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. So
I haven't been talking about resistance this whole time. I understand that. I'm saying there's always been a rumor that Rag just takes extra damage from Frost. Like he has a secret take 2% extra damage from Frost debuff.
well,
like all fire elementals.
Has nothing to do with the resistance.
2%, 1,100,
I don't know
1,500 ain't.
I don't know what the number would be. There's just always been rumors about it because people in the same gear consume spell power. Everything will do more damage to Rag than non-Rag bosses.
I mean,
but there could be a million reasons for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at my data. My data says I hit them the same, but I just hit them more.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like that's. I remember reading about that in like 05.
Yeah,
right?
that's a
so
thing.
it's one of those. It's one of those things that like Blizzard never confirmed, and if it's true or not, we'll never know. And it might have been true back then, but when they rebuilt the game engine, they didn't include it because different people built this version of the game than the Blizzard employees 20 years ago. Except for that one guy who found like the copy of the code in a box in his basement or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I gotta kill him, Jesus Christ. I need to go farm Essences of Air. The Interior, we're gonna go do that, but then I got a job. Wonder if he already did it. Because I found out that I don't want to use Crusader on both weapons. It's just not. It's not BIS. You use 15 Agi on your offhand. And I also found out you don't use Crusader on a dagger. You use +5 weapon damage.
Really?
Yep.
Did you
and it's a
math
real
it
thing.
yourself, or did you just find some?
I've looked at the extensive amount of maths that other people have done. Technically, double Crusader is BIS, but it's like a 5 DPS difference, and you have to do ridiculous amounts of min-maxing and get lucky. And I said, fuck that. Because you have to get them, you have to get both procs at the same time. And then you have to pop your cooldowns exactly. You have to have your cooldowns running when both procs are stacked. Or you can just not do that and lose like 5 total DPS. And just, it's way more consistent to have 15 Agi in your offhand. To the point that most of the best rogue players don't use Crusader on their offhand and haven't for a long time. I just never knew that was a thing. +5 weapon damage on a main hand dagger makes a lot of sense because ambush and backstab scale directly with your weapon damage. So having the extra weapon damage enchant just increases the damage of all of them, like every time you use a yellow ability.
I won these damn Betrayer boots. I was like, oh, those are an upgrade. And then I want them. Oh, look at that. They're a slight upgrade. Fuck. I'm going to get Bloodvine.
Upgrade at all.
No, I'm just going to get Bloodvine because Bloodvine's better. Well, but
they are boots, aren't they?
They, well, because they have 30 spell damage. But it's, just generic spell damage. I had plus 30 frost. But this has 12 hit on it, so that gives me, an extra, like 0.2% crit. Plus the extra, stamina. So they're like ever so slightly better, but they
my mage is a
will.
Taylor.
They will be better for my HoJ, my fire set though.
100%.
Well, okay, not a fire raid set, but for my HoJ set, because I don't need any hit for fucking in there. So I won't be wearing Bloodvine when I'm farming that. And I was using the Netherwind. Or the fucking Arcanist boots. Which does have 1% crit, but this 30, it only has 11 spell power, and this 30 spell power is more than 11 spell power and 1% crit. Even when taking into account the ignites. Oh, by the way, Ben, fucking, I know you were, I could, no, I got those upgrades. I can kill Anger on like one lap, like pretty darn easily now. And I've, towards the end when I was getting Levi's HoJ, the last like 5 or 10 pulls that I did, I didn't even kill that second pack with the Yelly, like at the corner. I just let Anger run through them. And it's a little bit sketchy, but yeah, because I can get through that window.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, so like it's a little bit sketchy, and it's actually super RNG. Sometimes Anger gets like fucking 50 yards ahead of that pack, and other times that pack's like right up his fucking dick, like right next to him running. It's kind of weird, but even if they are like, you know, in my face right when he drops, then, you know, as long as I don't fuck up like and loot, you know, quickly and fucking jump off the ledge, you know, they don't kill me. I was getting arena runs where I did the trash to check the boss, and doing the HoJ run and hitting lockout. I was getting like 10-minute runs.
Nice.
You've been selling the HoJs?
I've been selling the HoJs for the last month. Made about 10,000 gold. We got my first SGC today, though. Unfortunately, they got, because I kind of same for the HoJ. I give an option for the SGC when I get the Gorosh ID that it drops off of. You could either pay 300 for kill, or I kill it. If it, you know, I kill it. If it drops, then yay for you. If it doesn't, then, you know, thanks for 300 gold, or 2,000 gold, or 2.5 gold, 5K. I've been kind of bouncing my price up and down depending on how quickly people respond on drop. So like, you know, you only pay if it actually drops. And today I had one guy, I had a kill where one guy was doing the on drop for 2K and didn't drop. And then this guy that it did drop, he paid for 2 kills for 300 gold from me. And it dropped on the second one. So I got 600 gold for it, which is pretty cool. And it was pretty cool to fucking just see it drop. Like fucking, you know, just, you know,
so it's pretty cool just seeing the boss.
Yeah, honestly, because the boss has like it's like I forget what it's like a 6 to 8% chance for the boss to spawn out of the group. It's like the lowest one, and then the SGC has like almost a 14% chance to drop. So like literally getting the boss is like the harder half of it. But fucking Levi was my little lucky charm today, because I mean we got three Gorosh IDs over the course of like the whole 19 runs that we did for his HoJ, but really those 3 came like from the first one to the third one was like 7 runs. Like he was super lucky getting him up, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Just seeing a shiny, super rare piece of loot drop, and that the guy who got it, he said it was his 21st kill. Now, I don't know if he paid 300 gold for every single one of those kills, but paid me 300 for 2 of them, and fucking 21 kills is pretty brutal.
Yeah, it is.
But that's why I want to get my my warlock down there, Ben, because when I do get those Gorosh IDs, I jump on my bank alt and then for trade chat and then spam like the general and LFG on my mage or whatever, advertise it. I get people biting that like really quick. Like usually within like fucking a minute or two. And but the thing is that the longest part about the whole thing is them traveling. They drop what they're doing and start heading there so they can zone in. But that takes anywhere from 5 to whatever 15 minutes depending on where they're at. So if I could have fucking stuff that warlock somewhere, I don't know where I'm gonna put him where he's not gonna get fucking like ganked or fucking.
He's gonna get ganked.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know it's gonna happen, but like, fucking.
You'll need a clicker too, the third clicker.
That's my HoJ buyer.
Ah, true.
Yeah, because I was advertising like, oh, HoJ and SGC, and then I realized after talking to like another mage who never did HoJ and only sold SGC, like he just farmed out his IDs. Like he would just get a Gorosh ID and then he'd advertise. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my normal HoJ. If the buyer's a warrior, then I'll be like, hey, interested in SGC? Yes, no? Okay, if you are, sweet. If not, I'm also going to be doing that. And if I get the ID, then, fucking going to put you on pause for a minute and sell that bitch, basically. But yeah, I would use my HoJ buyer as like the third clicker.
What if they were AFK?
I mean, they can only be AFK to such an extent, right? I mean, like sometimes you get them AFK a little bit towards the end, but like, I've never, it's 10 to 12 minute runs, right? And I've never had anybody like just disappear for like 20 minutes. Maybe they're like AFK for a little longer, or for a few minutes after a run. But usually people are pretty attentive. I'll tell you what, the HoJ buyers are better about resetting than stockade boosties. This fucking
imagine.
hurting those were like fucking cats. Like there was 3 of them.
I'm glad that HoJ didn't move. Once I finish this, I can start selling HoJ runs.
Super happy because like
I was honestly, if I had to bet money on it, I would have bet that it did move because it would have made logical sense. But I'm glad that it didn't.
Yeah, like I said, I felt like it could go either way, and I'm just really glad. Like when I went to go test, it only took me 2 kills to fucking get it because I could have been doing it for 20, 30 runs and be like, is it RNG or is it gone? I'm like, I don't know. Like I keep going. Like, fucking dropped in the second one. I was like, dude. And the guy who that guy actually got a really good deal because I wasn't gonna bring anybody. I was just gonna fucking do it and it dropped and I'd have it so I can flash it in a trade fucking window. But like I asked in trade chat like before I went out there if anybody knew like had any confirmation on if it moved or not, and I had a couple people whisper to me. One was like another seller, and then one was a buyer, and both just asking me the same question I just fucking asked them. Like, do you know if it's moved? I'm like, no, it's what I just asked. Like, no, I'm gonna go test it. Like, and then I told that guy, you know what? Fucking. Actually, I told him I'll do it for half price. Normally it's on drop. It's 800. For you want to come along? It might not actually be possible, but 400 gold. You want to come hang? He's like, yeah, actually, can you do 300? That's all I got. I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, come on, like, don't even know if it's gonna happen. And then it did. That was his like 71st kill though. He said.
Damn.
Yeah, he was. It's one of the higher ones that I've heard. But yeah, I'm excited. It's good gold and it's like way more fun than any other boost that I've ever done because like people get geeked. Like nobody gets excited about, you know, getting 40% of a level on, you know, a fucking XP boost, you know, fucking type of thing. And like, you know, fucking if you're just farming, you know, just doing like an AoE farm where you're not boosting, like you get a sweet dopamine hit like once every blue moon, like when you get like a really good drop. But with this, you know, you fucking people get excited. Fucking even the guys that have gotten it from me like in 1 or 2 runs where they're just paying per run, you know, they fucking pay me 80 gold and get it. I'm like, dude, that's fucking hype. Good for you, man. Like, cause there's not a shortage of buyers. Like, I'll just get somebody else in here. Like, fucking dope. And then if they're paying on drop, it's really nice. Fucking getting traded 800 gold. I'm thinking about raising my prices though. I see other people advertising the per run for 50 gold per run. And I think a lot of people don't offer it on drop.
They do pay per run only.
Yeah, and like I've read that people, you know, basically like, you know, just more consistent gold. And I mean, I literally have like a spreadsheet. You can go to herald.com/HoJ and see every single one of my stats I've been keeping. I literally made a Python script that harvests the data from Nova Instance Tracker and then sticks it into a spreadsheet. So it's like all automated. Blech. I mean, it basically comes out to about the same. Like, you know, yeah, I'll get sprees where, you know, I do like 20 or 25 runs or, you know, I don't know what my longest streak is without one, you know, on drop. And it's like, you know, not making any gold, like not losing any gold, at least from the blues. But, you know, I've also had times where I've had multiple now where it's like within the first like 3 runs, you know, I got the fucking on drop 800. So it's like, it kind of all balances out. But
yeah, but that's pretty extremely lucky.
I mean, I'm at 300 kills. My HoJ drop rate is within 0.1% of what Atlas Loots says it is.
Nice.
So like, I feel like my stats are pretty like, you know, yeah, like.
But it's still completely possible for you to do 100 straight pay on drop runs and have it not drop.
I mean, true, but it's also possible for me to fucking do 5 runs and get 1,600 gold.
Yeah, it is.
So like I said, it kind of evens out. At least it does in the numbers. But anyways, my point being, people are selling for 50 gold a run, so I'm like, maybe I should do 50 gold a run and like, you know, fucking 900 on drop or something.
Oh, it's 50 gold a run instead of 40 now.
Well, that's what other people sell it per run when I see them advertising. And honestly, I never even seen. That's the way it was when I first started. I kind of started at 40 because I'm like, all right, well, I'm new to this. I'm just going to do it a little bit cheaper. I've just kind of never went up. But if I wanted to keep like the same ratio, like 40 per run, 800 on drop, you know, it's basically you do 20 runs per paying per run, then you get the 800. If I do 50, then that means I probably want to do the on drop for 1,000. That just seems a little, I don't know. I should probably just try it and see how long it takes to see if people still bite. So, I mean, 800, like right in that 1,000 gold range, that's like not uncommon for like BIS items at all. That's why if I was ever buying the HoJ myself, I would just do it on drop. Like, fucking staring at fucking 2 freezing bands that I spent 721 gold each for. Fucking these flare core leggings, I spent like 900 gold on those. Fucking robes of the Archmage, you know, that was a little earlier on, so that, you know, fucking that was like 600 gold. So it's like,
remember when Rich got free robes of the Archmage? What a bitch. Oh, he's not in here anymore.
It's like, I don't know. It's like, why would, you know, I mean, I see why people do it, because they're like, you know, they probably don't have the 800 gold. They're like, oh, I got a couple hundred gold. You know, let's see if I can get lucky. But like, it's just way smarter just to get the fucking like on drop price and just do that.
Do you ever do any HoJ runs for sexy eggs? He asked me to do it like 2 weeks ago, and I just never got around to it.
Let me see. Harrenal.com/HoJ. I have done 18 runs with 15 kills. The last run was April 21st at 3:03 p.m. Average run minutes per run, 11 minutes. He was I've gotten a lot more consistent. Like, I pretty much get it, you know, I don't die nearly as much as I like was.
Yeah.
Like, actually looking at it right here. Oh, holy cow. Hold on, let me
I got rid of my I got rid of that hybrid spec I was using though. I made just dual spec Frost Raid and Fire Raid right now. So I wouldn't have the increased Frostbolt range on my fire spec anymore, Sage. The guild I was running with kind of sucked, and I got really sick of Curse of Elements not being on the bosses, which was making playing fire completely pointless. Especially because there's 2 bosses in MC where you were like, if your locks don't elements the boss, you might as well just not even DPS because they have higher base fire resistance, Gehennis and Golmag.
Right.
So I just got really tired of them being bad. So I changed my specs to both be the proper raid specs.
Fucking the one boss that I managed to log for the ZG we just did, the fucking Godzilla motherfucker. I was looking at that and fucking Curse of Elements wasn't up on him. I'm like, man, like,
did we even have a warlock? Oh, you had Huckett.
Yeah, we had Huckett. Yeah, he was doing the they get more attack power but less armor one. I was like, fuck me, like
recklessness. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, that one. If you only have one lock in the raid, that one will always get priority because warriors are the best bumpers in this game.
Yeah, I know, but like I didn't even think about it. Like, I'm just like so used to, you know, it being like, you know, being there, you know, with multiple locks and, you know, a 40 man. And I looked at it, I was like, motherfucker, like that gimps
it's
me.
Funny
like,
because my last straw when I finally respec my dual specs on my mage, I was in a raid with that guild. They had 5 warlocks. All 5 of them were just using Curse of Agony.
Oh my god.
They weren't doing any of the debuff curses.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, man, dude, like we just took us 3.5 hours. Like I did 2 BW walkers with them like last week and the week before. That weren't that bad. Like they were way slower than we go, but they were still like right around 2 hours. But holy shit, dude, the raid we did yesterday was awful. It took us like 3.5 hours. We wiped multiple times. There was one point where we wiped on Chromag, and they said on Discord like 70 times, like don't get in the boss's LOS. Like his aggro range is huge. And we had rezzed like 25 people, and somebody strafed in front of the door and pulled the boss and re-killed everybody.
Oh, pitch. Dude.
I was like, holy shit, man. This guild sucks so much ass.
I know we're not like in the best guild like in the world, but like I feel like our guild's pretty good. Like I can't like even when things get really hairy, like I can't remember the last time we really had like a full wipe. And like I know you guys did in that BWL that I like came in late because like a bunch of people were missing. But like I don't know, like fucking even with like what was it that one pool that we did just in the ZG where there was like a fucking fuckload of those mobs. of the trash, where like a handful of people died, and it was really sketchy there for a minute. But like I don't know, seems like when we're running with our guild, we got a little bit of a clutch factor, which is kind of nice. I'm very pleased with the guild, considering it like just kind of fell in our laps.
Same.
Yeah, it's really funny because you guys ran with them first.
Yeah, literally, me and Mike, the first time we ran with them, we were looking on fucking, was it looking for a group? Me and Mike were trying to get into an MC together, and they had 2 spots left. And I'm like, Mike, you see his name? All right, we're both going to whisper him at the same time. Let's see if we can get it. And boom, we both got invited, like, immediately when we whispered, and we instantly got summoned, and and they were going. Like, it was the most hectic. It was like my first MC, and it was super hectic because like it was literally like, oh, here's your invite, like here's your summon. I'm like 2 minutes. I didn't have anything ready, so I'm like running around like for fucking like 1 minute trying to get all my fucking consumed and fucking get there, and then they're just zooming, gambling the whole time, and I'm like fucking shit in the bed like crazy, but nobody said anything. Everybody was really chill, and I'm like, you know what? That's pretty good. Fucking. And I don't
You should go.
remember.
You should go find that log if you can. Go look at your oldest log and see how slow the run actually was in hindsight. Because I guarantee you, the runs we're doing now as a full guild are like 40% faster than that one, and probably don't feel hectic at all.
Oh, 100%. Let me see. That'd be phase 1.
Yeah. If you go to the molten core bosses and just like click on the parse list, you should be able to see your oldest one.
February 18th. Or was it the 19th one? I can look at the players. Maybe it was my second one.
Dark Fry.
Yep, nope. The 18th one, I think that was my first one. It was not with them. I think the 19th one. Yep, there's Tiri. Yep. That's Lucifer. It was Molten Core. It was an hour and 23 minutes and 59 seconds.
Oof. That's glacially slow for a Molten Core. What was our last Molten Core?
Here's the thing. But the first one I did the day before, like my first ever pug, my first ever experience was where's it at? Fuck, it doesn't say the time in the same spot. Oh, maybe because we didn't kill. First of all, we failed to kill Rag. Yeah, so all right, well, we killed the first boss at 1:45 a.m. and our last pull on our third wipe on Rag was at 4:55 p.m. So 3 hours, and we failed to kill Rag. And then the next day, it was an hour and 23 minutes when we got with them. So I was like, dude, I've seen the opposite ends of what pugs can be. This is crazy. Honestly, I don't even know how we got back in with them after that. The Discord. That's what it was. They invited us to the Pug Discord, and they had the sign-up sheets. So we just kept signing up there.
I love that that happens to be the 2 days I can actually raid.
Yeah, that's fucking really epic. That's the thing too. Is fucking if the schedule doesn't work, then it doesn't matter really how cool the guild is. Super. My first, it's the first time I've ever like really raided. Very pleased with experience thus far.
What?
Very pleased with my raiding experience, being the first time I've ever actually raided like in WoW Classic.
Oh yeah, and we're about to get to the fun raids too. I mean, I personally fucking hate AQ40 and a lot. So do a lot of other people. There's actually a pretty solid chance we're gonna have roster problems in AQ because a lot of people stop playing when AQ comes out.
Yeah, I've seen videos and It's
But the one thing that's cool,
population
the one thing
killer.
that's but the one thing that's cool about AQ40, the bosses, it's the first raid where the bosses actually have something semblancing like mechanics besides standing in one spot and spamming your spell.
Or
Which
like mechanics you can't you just don't ignore or whatever.
Yeah. Like Twin Emperors is one of my all-time favorite fights. Even though it's super simple, like when you're actually doing it, it sounds way harder than it is. It's the one where one of the twins is physical damage only, and the other one's magic damage only. So you need your warlocks tanking the caster boss, and then your warriors tank the regular boss. And then they switch places with each other. Like the main mechanic of the fight is the bosses will teleport to exactly where the other boss is, and they'll switch aggro tables. So all of a sudden, the caster boss will be standing where the melee boss was, and he'll have threat on the warrior tank.
Interesting.
So you fix that by one of the warrior tanks, stays on the other side of the room. That the warrior tanks stay split up and they taunt, but casters obviously can't taunt the caster boss. So if I remember correctly, the way we did it in Somme, when the mechanics in Somme were a little bit differently, but you literally just have the tanks just switch sides. If I remember correctly, the warrior tank, there's a warrior tank sitting on the other side of the room, and he just taunts the boss. I can't remember how the casters get the caster boss back though. Do you remember, Slime? I don't remember how the mechanics work.
Clearing pain or something.
It might be they might just have to like maybe the other warlock has to stay second. Yeah, like one of the warlocks has to stay second on the melee boss, maybe, but he can't because I think the melee boss is immune to magic.
Yeah.
I don't 100% remember how it works, but it's a cool mechanic where the bosses switch places, and then you have to like switch everyone back, and they can't be near each other. Like you have to split the raid in two, because if they're within like 80 yards of each other, they heal massively. It's a heal that you can't out DPS, so that you have to split the raid up, which I've always found fights like that way more interesting, where there's like multiple teams.
Right. I'm excited for it. Like I said, I've seen a lot of videos about how it's like kills the population and and I'm like, hey, like 20-year-old game. I've played it since like 2005, but I've never raided, so it's all gravy for me. I'm excited.
Yeah, quite a few people just don't like because a lot of people they consider the mechanics more annoying than interesting.
Yeah,
so
I mean
that's an issue. That's an issue that they can't fix. They can't without completely redoing. It's mainly Cthulhu too, because Cthulhu's the first boss in this game that's actually hard. Where like if you don't have enough people carrying, a group can't do it.
Right. I always for the longest time I always thought Cthulhu was in Nax.
Last boss at AQ40. And it's funny too, because back in the day he was considered mathematically unkillable.
Right.
And in Somme they released him like the launch week of AQ, they released him as close to his old original launch form as they could, and Gills instantly killed him.
Yeah. That's a lot easier when you don't have 13 frames a second too.
Yeah, exactly. He's like to this day, he's still like the third longest boss ever between release day and first kill.
And like Rag's more, right? But that doesn't really count.
Yeah, Rag's
leveling.
first.
Yeah.
But he was because he was available on launch day of November 24th, my birthday, 2004, was the original launch of WoW. He was available on that day, but nobody killed him for like fucking 4 months because everyone had to level and figure out the game and gear.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, people don't really count that as the longest one. The longest, I think the longest kill, the longest boss from release day to kill, I think might still be 4 Horsemen. Or it might be, there's been a few retail bosses that took forever to get killed the first time on Mythic. Like thousands of pulls for the best guilds.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's different.
Wow.
I know. I've seen. I paid a little attention towards the end of the that last world first race, so I got a little taste of like the the numbers, because I know that But that final boss was super like disappointing, right? They killed it in like 100 pulls or something like that, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Like the fourth boss took like fucking 300 pulls or 400 pulls or something. And...
Well,
what are the chances I can find an enchanter in fucking Ironforge?
pretty good.
We try and get enchanted.
I need minor speed on these boots.
Probably not as good as in Stormwind, but probably not impossible.
It's definitely not as good as Stormwind, because I've tried to do this before. Because this is my launching pad to fucking HoJ. I've literally put in trade chat before, like, looking for enchanter in fucking Ironforge for this, and, like, I'll get people whispering me from fucking Stormwind. Like, multiple people. I'm like, bro, read it. Like, and, like, some of them weren't even automated shit. Like...
You'll be able to get Zanza soon to help you with your run speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to be exalted for Zanzas, don't you?
Yeah. Which...
Probably.
About... If you... I did the math yesterday based on bijou and coin prices. Coins were the more efficient. And actually, the coin prices look like they've come down because it was like 3.5 gold ish for 3 of them. I think they're like, I mean, I just sold the ones that I got fucking for like less than a gold, but it was like 1,800 gold to just buy your way with the coins. From where we were at before this raid.
You should be able to do the gator pull. You can get all the bijou you want.
Yeah, I do plan on doing that. At some point, because like it will be a lot cheaper and more efficient. Because I did that that farm in the last classic, but like I don't remember anything. So like it'll be a learning curve, but it shouldn't be too bad because like I have done it before. But I'm just like addicted to HoJ right now, so.
The strong mage's the one that seemed like he was high the whole game.
Well, fucking his rolls were high because he won fucking everything.
Yeah, I meant like the fucking retarded.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still not great about matching voices to players unless I'm like looking at it light up in Discord.
Same. And then they're like, "Oh, Josh and John and fucking George," and I'm like, I don't know any of those names.
Yeah.
I think Josh is what, Escape.
I think so.
Yeah, see, like they're like us, you know, calling
Yeah.
people first one.
There we go. That's how you find an enchanter in Ironforge. You slash yell and offer a 10 gold tip.
Here there.
I need to restock on some of my raid consumes soon. Had a big stockpile for a while.
Oh wow. Alright, I remember this. It's getting kind of hard to find this information. Because websites don't exist anymore. Like the old SK Gaming website that used to list all of these kills is just not there anymore.
Right.
I could probably find it
Like
in the whatchamacallit.
machine,
In the yeah. But I found a random forum post that's fucking like 15 years old now, where somebody copy and pasted all the kill times. I actually forgot about this. So back in 2011, the longest time a boss remained unkilled was still from AQ40, and it wasn't Cthulhu. It was actually Oro, the nature boss before him.
Hmm.
And a lot of people didn't kill him at all. They didn't bother killing him because he's optional, and he's really annoying. Like more so than he was like bugged or hard. His mechanics are just really stupid. He's the one where you have to freeze and then shatter him.
Oh
So
yeah.
your whole raid has to bring like frost daggers and shit to freeze him before the mechanic times out, and then everyone has to like pop. You can pop your little Baron trinket, and everyone has to run up and melee him and shatter him. And his mechanics are really dumb, so a lot of guilds just stopped trying him and killed Cthulhu first. So he died. Cthulhu, the world first Cthulhu was April 25th, 06. Oro died 1 day later.
Talk to me.
Wow.
But a lot of people don't consider that those the longest ones, because I think Oro was also Oro might have been bugged as well. Actually, I think Oro might have been bugged in release as well, because I'm finding all these old comments about how incredibly bugged out Cthulhu was, which is why no one could kill him. It wasn't just that he was hard, like too hard. It was that he was overtuned and bugged. His little tentacles, the tentacles were spawning like way too much in places where they weren't supposed to spawn.
Right.
So back in 2006, players couldn't handle that. I'm pretty sure in the SOM version they made it so the tentacles were crazy, if I remember correctly. But yeah, a lot of people still don't consider those two the longest. Or Ragnaros the longest, because Ragnaros is third on this list. But fourth on this list is not Four Horsemen, which I thought it was. It's actually Chromagus.
Really? I guess he was annoying, like not knowing anything.
I know that a big reason for this is because a lot of guilds got stuck on Razor Gore, the first boss, for several weeks, which really pumped up the time to kill for the rest of the bosses in the raid.
Right.
And then everybody got to Chromagus, and got stuck on him too. So it took Chromagus 74 days. It took 74 days for a guild to kill Chromagus, which is actually tied with Ragnaros. Although this is funny too, because 74 days after this is 74 days after the first major Domo kill. Because I didn't realize this, the first rag kill wasn't until late April, and WoW came out in late November.
Wow.
So that was almost 5 months.
Puts in perspective when you say that. Man, brand new game. That's crazy though.
And then I remember this: there's two bosses that in the older X packs. There's actually two bosses that took longer to kill than Four Horsemen, and one of them was the last boss in Ulduar and Burning Crusade. Yogg Saron took 70 days to kill. I remember how hard he was. Joe was actually in a guild that killed Joe's. I don't know if he'd still have the title, but Joe was in a guild that got server first. Yogg Saron Alone in the Dark.
Really? That's big pog.
Yeah, it was a shitty RP server. I used to make fun of him and say that the only reason he had the world server first title is because nobody played on his server.
Right. Still though,
which is factual. That was the only good rating goal in the entire server. Because the RP server, like by Burning Crusade days, even by BC days, even in like 07, 08, RP servers were already completely dead. I remember I switched to that server for a little bit because Joe, Dad, and Levi all played on it. Because I played on a PvP server in original vanilla, but I switched to that server and switched to Alliance after BC came out. And then we all played together for a while in a guild called Bromance. But then Joe was talking to some chick, and he blew up our guild because a lot of the people in our guild didn't like her. I
vaguely remember that.
Yeah, she was in the best guild on the server, and she wanted Joe to come raid with them in 25-man heroic shit because Joe was a healer, and he did, and he ended up blowing up our little guild because most of the people in our guild hated her.
Hated who?
Some chick that Joe used to talk to, and like fucking 20 years ago now. She played Burning Crusade with us.
Joe blew up a guild because he was a little whipped.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
I do remember that vaguely.
I've been kicked out of 3 guilds because of Joe.
That's
Really?
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
And that's not joking or nothing.
That's funny.
I don't remember exactly what happened. I remember she came to one of our 10-man raids because we mostly just raided 10-man, like the 10-man raids back then, and didn't ever do the 25-man stuff. And she came to one of our 10-man raids once, and there was another girl that was like the other guys in our guilds. She was their friend, but she was like really bad. She was like one of the worst players I ever played with. Terrible numbers. Her computer wasn't very good, but she just liked playing WoW, so they played with her because I think one of them knew her in real life too. I don't really remember. Her name was Tina. I remember that. She was yeah, she was awful, and she was a healer, so it actually made it way harder on us. Because whenever we were 2 healing stuff, oh no, actually, she didn't blow up our guild in BC. She blew up our guild in Wrath, because in Wrath you could do every raid 10-man. That's when they first made it so you could do the raids 10 or 25. So we were doing 10-man Nax, and we were struggling on some of the bosses because this chick Tina was like really bad at the game, and for whatever reason, this other chick that Joe was playing with a lot joined the raid and was shit talking their friend and talking about how shitty she was at the game, which was true, but there's a time and a place. And she got kicked from the raid. Like they just kicked her from the raid because they were like, "You're kind of being a bitch," and they kicked her. And I don't remember like exactly what happened, but Joe ended up leaving the guild and joining her guild over it because they told him that they didn't want her to raid with us anymore because she was rude. And I can't remember why. Like we could have just replaced Joe, but I feel like nobody really wanted to find a 10th person because we just had exactly 10 people. I still